All right, cool. Well, let's get started. Thank you all for coming. So anyhow, we're going to do this a little different today because what I want to go over first is some interesting stuff that was my aha moment the other morning as we do all this. And that's this idea of mindfulness. So the whole idea of mindfulness is, it's really what, I don't know if you know about this book, but this is my other book that I wrote. This is the first book, Life Pioneers. And it's just about how I came from where I came from to starting Terrio. And I think you have a copy of this, right? Mm-hmm. So, but the whole book is really, backing up, I started another certification process to become a certified wellness coach. And the first topic they covered was mindfulness. And it was weird because that's exactly what this book is about. It's about understanding why we do the things we do, how our past impacts us, and how you can, move forward with that. There she is. So I wanted to review mindfulness with you guys first before we get into everything else, because I think it's the missing component of wellness. So basically, mindfulness is just the non-judgmental awareness of what is happening in the present moment. How aware are we of what we're doing at any given moment? And it's just that awareness of yourself, what you're feeling, both physically, mentally, emotionally, energy-wise. Because it's become very apparent that most people walk around in automatic pilot mode all the time. So they just are in that mode, and you'll see it at work, you see it, especially when it comes to wellness, that we don't really know, we're not really aware of where we're going, what we're doing. If you've ever driven to work and kind of like, oh wow, I'm here already, and didn't realize that you had just driven all the way there. We're just on automatic pilot. But it also affects what we eat or when we're eating, and then also what we're working on at any given time. The more automatic it becomes, the less mindful we are of what we're actually doing. So along that line, the things that I want to talk about was eating and nutrition first. And I think it's interesting because I don't know when it happened, and it's kind of one of the things I want to talk about on my blog is, what happened to nutrition? Like, it used to be we knew how to do it, and then now it's that nutrition's become the mega pack, right? Nutrition's become, oh, you want to lose weight? Well, here, this is the best nutrition you get right here, right? Go get some of this stuff and dump it in a cup. And that becomes healthy nutrition. To the point where it's so ludicrous that people now are trying to say that, well, don't eat natural fruits and vegetables because the soil's lost vitamins and the fruits and vegetables don't have as much vitamins as before. So that this is actually more healthy than real nutrition. And Jane was nice enough to bring me some. So I still don't understand how this is more nutrition than this. This came fresh off Jane's tree, so it's like, really? This has more vitamins in it and it's better for us than this? Yeah. But that's kind of what's happened over time. Mm-hmm. The other weird thing to me is that you could pull a frozen little dinner out of the freezer, and that's more nutritious than, making dinner for yourself. And I think it's really, the real truth about this is really just more convenient. Mm-hmm. And that's really what's happened with nutrition. Mm-hmm. It's just become convenient. It has no real bearing on that this is, I don't think anybody really thinks that this is actually healthier for you than eating real food. Right. So the other thing that when it comes to mindfulness, and you guys know that we've started the program, is something weird happened to exercise in about the 70s. And we got this mindset that exercise meant going to the gym. And now it's taken on a really weird role that exercise means killing yourself, right? So we equate it in our heads that if you wanted to exercise, it just has to be miserable, right? And so it's got this negative impression, and hopefully that's one of the things we're going to work on is it doesn't have to be that way. You can get results without killing yourself. And I really think by the end of this, you guys will see that you're further ahead than people that just keep hammering themselves over and over again, because they will start to break down. And that's we get into that later in the book when we talk about training and the reasons there are rules for training and conditioning is because we know the human body and how if you push it too hard, it no longer adapts, it breaks down. So we don't want that either. And the third, so back to that exercise thing, with kids, I just read a report this morning that said kids that are obese by the time they're 5 years old will continue to be obese. Or that if they're overweight by 5, the likelihood that they'll become obese in their adulthood is exponentially higher. So it starts really early. Well, what do we do to kids, though? We've stopped letting them play, and we try to emulate like small adults. So we don't let them go out and have fun and run around. It's like, oh, let's go to soccer practice. Let's go to. And one of the things when I'm coaching teams that I never do, is one of our pet peeves, was using running as punishment for little kids. It's a big pet peeve of mine because what does it teach the kids? Running is bad. You are bad, you have to run. They click in their head that running is bad. So I wish we could get the word out to coaches that, I'm not saying you don't need discipline, but discipline them with things like up downs or burpees or pencil rolls or push-ups, because then they don't learn that the running is bad. I don't care if everybody hates up downs or burpees the rest of their life. I mean, they're miserable. They're a miserable thing, right? Nobody likes it, so we don't care if you like it or not. So we've got to get away from that. And what it really comes down to, and what I want you guys to really understand, is it's not really exercise. It's just activity. And how do you get more activity into your lives? So again, it's back to the mindfulness of, do people really understand that they just need to increase their activity a little bit? You don't have to go spend 45 minutes on a treadmill. You don't have to go out for a jog and just, push yourself to where you're near collapse. That's not what the body's made for. The body's made for small, gradual increases that then it can adapt to. So we'll be showing you that part of the equation too.